Okay, good morning, peoples. I am just getting on here about to do a video because I was supposed to actually go online with one of my friends this morning, and all the things was happening, but I'm getting on now. So I want to just answer a question. I had somebody ask me a question. I just want to answer it on a video because the girl asked me, one of my friends, she was like, she had a question about wearing pants, and she was like, you used to wear pants and not wear pants. I used to only wear skirts when I was in the church that I was in. And she was like, what's the difference and how are you still saved? Because I'm not wearing pants, or because I do now wear pants. And she had a question about one of her somebody that she knew that went back to the church, and they were like, well, this person looks different. And she was like, oh, well, she's saved. And so she was equating salvation with wearing skirts. And so since I used to wear skirts, she was asking me, like, what's the difference and why? What does that look like? So I'm going to take the time to answer that question for her and for y'all, because y'all probably got the question too. It's okay. Well, it's still a little hot. So anyways, what I was telling her is, for one, I'm not knocking anybody who wears skirts, because everybody have their own preference on what they want to do, right? That's not a thing, a big reason why I'm on here. The question that I'm answering is, why am I choosing to wear pants, and what's the difference? So the biggest thing I think that for me was I like to be real. Straight up. I want to be real. I like to be genuine. And I was in a church which I wore skirts, but in my heart, I wanted to kill my husband. I'm just being real. Can I be real? Can I be real? Or is that too much for some of y'all? I wanted to kill him. I had a murderous heart with my long skirt on. With my long skirt and my long sleeves. In my heart, I could have killed him for the things that he was doing. But sometimes you can hide behind that skirt, or you can hide behind the outward appearance, and not deal with the heart issue. Because ultimately it boils down to a heart issue. It's not all about the display, about what you're doing. Yeah, some of those things are important, right? I'm not going to take that away. But at the root, it comes back down to the heart. And I had to literally fight not to self-destruct. I didn't try to just tame it. I had to deal with it. And I was in an environment where I had to learn how to deal with me, really deal with me, and really deal with how I felt, regardless of what everybody else thought. And they thought I was oh so holy, but there was things that I had to do. I looked it on the outside, but God was really dealing with me on the inside. There was also a time where I felt like I didn't have genuine love for people. I didn't like, I remember I didn't like people who, and I was a little mean when I was growing up. I think Cora used to say, she was like, oh, you were this, you were that. But I was a little mean. I was a little bully, kind of. I guess antagonistic, people would say. Yeah, I was. And whatever, it is what it is. But why, right? There's reasons why. But I remember God asking me, he was like, there was somebody that he wanted me to show love to, a drug addict, some alcoholic, and I'm like I could be nice to people. I know to be nice to people. I'm like, but I ain't got to have you all up in my space. I ain't got to have you all up in my space. I ain't got to deal with all that. And God put me through a challenge, and he told me that I needed to have love for people, the love of God, like literally the love of God. And I'm like, God, you know what I told God? I said, you God, that's what you do. I love people, but I don't love him like you love him, because you God and you love all people. You love people that stink. You love people that's dirty. You love people who are murderers and killers, and you love everybody because you're God. You can do that. That's what you do. That's your thing. And he literally was like, but I need you to love this particular individual. And I did not have the love in my heart. And I just said, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't take it. For 2 years, I dealt with this person. And in my space, in my life, and I was irritated. I was frustrated because he was doing things. He was on drugs, and he would drink, and he didn't smell the best, and he was touching on my kid's cheeks, and he didn't wash his hands, and it was all the things that would just grind somebody on the inside with my long skirt on, just so you know. And on the inside, I would be just boiling because I didn't want to deal with it. I felt like that wasn't my responsibility. I shouldn't have to. And God kept trying to get me to love the person. And I'm like, I do. I gave him a plate. I fed him. I gave him a plate. I'm being nice. He said, nope, you ain't doing it right still. I remember just begging God to help me. And I kept trying, but it was just so hard for me. It was. And I was asking God, I'm like, can you please give me a love, your kind of love? Because there was a song that says, his love, like, is so deep. His love is so wide. Like, it was a, oh my gosh. And I like singing. Oh, what is that song? The love of God. It was the love of God, and it was how deep it was and how wide, and how far it would go, and it was so powerful, the song was anyways. And I'm like, God, I don't have that kind of love for people. I don't. And I was like, can you please give me this love for this individual, to love him the way you love him? And I remember he was staying with me, and so I'm like, it's not fair. I shouldn't have to. But one day I prayed and I broke through, because I kept trying, but I wasn't getting it. Anyways, one day I'm on my knees praying, and he came in the house drunk, and something clicked, and I was like, oh, I love him. I love this person. I felt it. I love him. And I'm like, I came downstairs. He was talking to Michael at the time, and I'm like, I wanted to give him a hug and say, I love you. Stinky, frustrated, drunk. I love you. But I don't want to be weird. So I'm like, no. But I sat there, I could have cried, but I felt it in my heart. I'm like, this is it. This is true. And I was like, you know what? They can stay. I'll give them a room. Because I was like, you ain't getting a room. You going to feel uncomfortable while you here. I don't want you to know. You going to feel uncomfortable because I don't want you here. I don't want you here. I do not want you here. And I want you to feel that. Please leave. Please leave. I'm not going to make it comfortable for you. I don't want you to feel comfortable here. I don't want you here. I don't. But at that moment, I got the love. I'm like, they can stay. They can have a room. I love this person. I want to help this person. What do I got to do? Everything just changed God changed me. The situation never changed. The situation never changed, but God changed me. Literally, God changed me. And I'm like, I love this person. Let me help them. God, he gave me a love. And I'm like, and literally 2 weeks later, he moved. He moved to California. 2 weeks later. I'm like, I'm ready. I got it. We can do this. I was like, nope. I had you in this situation because I needed to work on you. I wanted you to get the lesson from it. I wanted something to change on the inside of you. Sometimes God will have you in a situation or a test, and he's trying to fix you. He's trying to get something out of you. And sometimes we can miss the mark because we're doing all the things. We're going through the religious process. I'm saved. I'm holy. I have my skirt or my shirt. I'm doing all the things, or I'm going to church all these many days a week. I'm performing, and I'm on the prayer team. I'm on the altar team. I'm doing this. I'm in the choir. I'm doing all these acts. But the only act he's asking you is the one that's in there, your heart. That's what he's trying to get to, the heart. But you're doing all the performing well. Baby, I like to act. Just so you know, I can act. I like to act. I like acting. But he was like, I don't need you to perform for me. I need you to be real. And let's talk about it. You don't really care about this guy. I don't. See, I like to be real, so I told God I don't love him. I told him I don't love him like you do. That's your thing. That's what you do. You're God. That's what I told God. That's what you do. And he was like, yeah, but I need you to be real. And sometimes it's hard to be real. Sometimes folks, some of y'all be lying to yourselves. Lying to yourself. Thinking you got it all figured out. And you don't. And you're not even being real with yourself. But I was being real because I was in some situations. I was like, I can't fake this. I can't fake. I have a hard time faking. I am not a good liar. I'm not a good liar. I'm going to tell you, my face sometimes says, and I'm like, sometimes I know my face sometimes look away, but then it be just me thinking. It ain't always what it look like. Just so you know. But some of y'all but being honest with yourself, being real, and that's what God wants. He wants us to come be real. Come boldly. Are you going to be bold enough to say, I really don't like him, and I can't stand him, I hate him? Can I be really honest until I say, God, Can you be honest with God and tell him the real, or are you coming sugarcoating stuff? Trying to make it seem like you all that. And just because you got on your religious garb and your religious whatever, but you ain't even being real with who you are to even get the help that you even need. So he had to teach me how to love. Genuinely love people. How to love people. Even people who I didn't feel like they was worthy to be loved. I didn't think, I'm like, but it's the difference between, that the agape love, the God's love. Like, you can love people even when they're doing wrong. Like, that's why I've learned how to be able to forgive people. Literally, because God taught me how to love people like he loves people. But now, there is a way that you can love people and keep them separated. And I had to learn that. But I had to go through the process of being around the people, learning, mingling among the people and loving the people while I was there. God had to teach me that. But now God is like, you can come over here out the way. And you ain't got to do all that no more. You know what I mean? There's seasons and all that. But sometimes you're in a season because God is trying to do something for you. And so I just want you to know, listen. Somebody trying to call me. But I feel good this morning. And this coffee, it's a live coffee, baby, okay? Anyways, I just wanted to answer that question today. About what that looked like. So point is, it's not always the outward appearance. It's really the inward work. And when I learned how to do the inward work, I realized you can be so focused on the outward that you miss the inward part. And it's really big on me in this season not to perform, but to just be me and just to show up who God has authentically called me to be. And I'm not gonna let nobody take that from me, because nobody did that inward work but me. You know what I'm saying? Like, people can judge you and talk about you all day long, and people gonna talk, but I don't care. I'm not in your box, because guess what? When I was going through what I was going through, wasn't nobody there helping me. Hello, wasn't nobody there. I had to work the. You know what they talk about? Working out your salvation with fear and trembling. I had to work out my salvation with fear and trembling with me and him, because me and him, we had these conversations. We had conversations. And it wasn't always pretty conversations, because I'm like, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. This ain't cool. This ain't fair. And me and him, he had to work on Trevi, because I ain't about to be lying, not to myself. So God has helped me do the inward work. I'm doing the inward work, and even more. I'm even more inward work, and it's a never ending process, because guess what? I'm still going through processes of healing and cleansing and getting stuff out of me that was passed down. Life experiences. I'm working through it. You hear me? I wish I had somebody that I can be talking to, because I like having conversations. Let's talk about it. I don't like having conversations. So, anyways, but if y'all would like to have a conversation with me, ask me a question. You've got a question that you just been burning to ask me. Drop it and tell me. Drop question and send me your question. And guess what? And I'm gonna. If you want to go live with me, I'll answer your question. Or either I might just go live by myself, or just do a video by myself and answer your question. I ain't got no problem. See, that, you know, that's what I'm saying. Some folks think it's tea. Oh, we got the tea. But what y'all call tea is my testimony, boo. It's my testimony. And I don't have a problem with sharing my testimony. My children used to be frustrated with me when I would testify at church. And I only would testify when I felt it. And when I felt the Spirit telling me. Some people are like, you need to testify. I can't just testify like that. I don't always just testify, but I got to feel it. I got to feel it. And so I would testify because I'm feeling it. I'm like, I feel like God is saying, do it now. So, anyways. Ask me a question. And I'll tell you. Because I ain't got no problem. Because what y'all call tea is what God did for me. And I feel good about it. I feel good about it because I did that. I did it. And you can't take it from me. I did that. Me and him walked that thing out, and you can't take it from me. You can't take it from me. You can't take that from me. You can't take it from me, because my fruit shows. It shows. You can talk about me all day long. They talked about Jesus, baby. All the religious folks talked about Jesus, but he been building me, trying to help me. And I'm going to figure this thing out. I just want you to know that I'm going to figure this thing out. Anyways, let me get off here. I'm excited. I hope y'all have an amazing day. Because today is about to be amazing for me. It's an amazing day. I'm going to step into everything that God has for me. Period. You ain't got to like me. Because I like myself. I learned. I always used to be I want to be like this. I'm going to be like Tree. I want to be like Tree. I like Trevi. I don't, sometimes that's another talk. Let me get off of this live and talk about something else. Because I get to starting again. I got a lot to talk about. I got a lot to say. But anyways, I'm going to keep this one short. Y'all have an amazing day. Be real with yourselves. And don't be caught up with the religious garb. Be caught up in doing the inner work. Be honest with yourself. Be real. I like to be real. So, y'all have an amazing day.